So this episode, we're going to talk about parenting. I'm just going to get into it. The first question, is it possible to know that you are ready to be a parent?
I think the subject of parenting, I will enter this way. Anyone who's a parent is a disciple. That means you're learning. So there can never be somebody who says, or an authority in parenting. But your question again, so I'm not speaking as an authority on parenting. I'm speaking as a father of 2 kids and also playing a role as a dada, they call me. Lot of kids around me, a lot of children. So I'm going to speak from that context, not as an expert. You're asking, will you know you're ready to be a parent? I think some people do. Some people want, some people are, at least from what I've heard. But I think half of the time, parenting is an accidental reality. And I don't think anybody knows what it takes to be a parent for that particular child, for that particular person, So I think it's a kind of a gamble, And it's a gamble, an intuitive gamble. Some people, I think, should be parents. I think some people should not be parent, at least my view. But I think it's one of those things you embrace the unknowing. Like, I take your mother, for instance. She had you when she was 24, right?
25.
25, okay. Nobody thought she will be a good mother, Nobody thought.
It's a terrible thing
No,
say.
Including because she was a kid. She was a young child. But my God, 10 over 10. As a mother, as a parent, she is. I have never seen anything, at least from my view, I've never seen anything better. But I don't think anybody can be an author or an authority on this subject. I think we go into parenting by putting our hands together and say, we'll do the best we can. And will you be ready to be a parent? I don't know how you can know until you are a parent. Maybe some people have, I always want to have a child. And I'm always worried about those people when they say, I always wanted to have a child. What are you going to do with the child? Are you going to impose your idea on the child? So I will enter this subject carefully. I'll enter this subject adventurously, But I think most of the people are becoming parent because it's just an acceptable thing. You marry, you have a child, you become a parent,
I think there's two sides of it, right? There are the people who kind of subscribe to the norms a bit more and they're just like, okay, marry, 2.5 kids, all of that. But then there's the other side of people who are like very scared to have children because it's not just financially. You obviously have to have enough money, but then you also have to be kind of like dealing with your own personal.
I think that is right. Before, you didn't have the luxury to be scared. I'm so glad that people are contemplating, oh my God, this is going to take a lot. And that's kind of the right thing to do, because you're entering it with your eyes wide open. You're accepting. I don't think everybody who has a child becomes a parent. I don't think everybody becomes a mother or father. They use that role, but I don't know. I think it's one of the most honest thing you'll ever do. Because you will wish for the child more than you wish for you. You will put your life on the line for the child. I think it's the most honest expression of human being. It might not be for all. It might break you. It might destroy you. So you get no help from me. If you have a child, I guess you're a parent. If you don't have a child, I guess you're not. So I'm not going to romanticize it. Nor am I going to make it painful. To me, it's my greatest challenge. It's my greatest test. My greatest honesty, my greatest privilege. And I don't know whether I did good or not. I don't know. And I want to leave it to that.
I would say not bad lah.
Sorry?
I would say not bad lah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But I think that that's something a lot of people think, that they have a right to be a parent versus it's a privilege to be a parent.
Well done. I love that approach. It is a privilege. Oh my God, I tell you, I remember when you were kids and all that. One look at you all, something happens. And I wish that to happen to many. I was not important. You guys were. And I tell you, that is the greatest gift I got. That I'll jump and help you, and I don't know how to feel tired. I'll push myself beyond for my family. It's a privilege. One of the greatest privilege. To look at a child that smiles at you, oh my God, what would you pay?
Is it a relief?
Relieve me?
Like suddenly you care about something more than you ever cared about yourself?
I think so. You become a human. You become a proper human. Something is more important to you than you. And then your importance is revealed. Like I always tell your mother or myself, I cannot afford to get ill. I got kids. I got family. It gives you so much too. People only think about what they gave. Very few parents realize what they receive. What the child indirectly gives you direction, give you purpose, give you commitment. It gives you so many things. So to me, parenthood must be celebrated, but not exaggerated. It is not for all. It is for some. And more so with the world population being as it is, I don't think everybody should be a parent. But I think everybody should find a way to play a role in somebody's child. Like I have the privilege, because I have so many disciples and students, all their kids are like my kid. Now when they see them come here to learn with me or come to do a class, I'm looking at them and I'm going like, my God, I've grown old. But that's my privilege. It is not my burden. You carry a cute baby, your daughter, your son, you play with them. Oh my God, come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But this way, it's not for all. But what all can do, learn to be a surrogate parent. Play a role. The other day, Oceana called me. Oceana and Luna is one of my disciples, Roger and Fabian's kids. They kind of grew up around me. They were born around me, and they were talking to me about their ballet career. And I was like, the day she called me, she said she might want to quit ballet or something. I was so touched, I'm like, oh my God, we're talking. Do you know, for me, what did I deserve? This care, this love. So, parenting is not for all, but everyone can play a role in a child. That is why I want to build the orphanage here. We're going to build soon, maybe 100 kids. You know what these kids will be? They will not be orphan. They might not have parents, but we all will play a role. We all. So everybody is a parent. Parenting means what? No, I'm nurturing. When you have a garden, you're parenting the garden. I don't know whether it's the right word. You are nurturing. So the meaning of parenting is, am I nurturing rightly? Am I nurturing this child to grow up to be the best it can be? Am I protecting this child against the wound I have gone through? Everybody should be a parent. That's why they call this Mother Earth. Why mother? It's a parent. This earth, we need to parent this earth too. So I don't want to limit it with a child, I think parenting is a natural evolution of you and me. If you have a child, good. If not, get involved. Be an auntie, be an uncle, like how you are, in some sense, owned by so many people. Prem, Anba, Shalini. They all, when you all do well, I can see all of them like, oh my God, Master, look how beautiful they are. Oh my God. And I must let them. Like I always tell Prem this, the biggest mistake I made, I didn't bring him to your graduation. Because he's the driver, he's the one who drove you to school, brought you back. I always said, I made a mistake. You deserve to be there to cheer the child on, which means he might not have his child of his own, but he's a kind of a parent to my child too. And I think don't lose that privilege. It doesn't have to be yours for you to be a parent. I think we all should be a parent.
How do people push past that fear, right, that they're going to mess up the child?
We will mess them up. There's no other way. We will make mistakes. So don't let the fear stop you. Just let it keep you honest. When you go wrong, correct it. Have I made mistake? I'm plenty. But that's being a human. But as long as I don't defend my mistake, that is right parenting. If I can go to the child and say, I think I was wrong. I'm sorry. I think I messed up here. Maybe I was harsh on you. This is something my father had, no, Apshi, your grandfather had. Every Friday, we have an open forum. We go to the temple, we come back. He will take a pot, put all the Indian rice, mix it in one hand, and then everybody gets a ball. So we call it Sami Suru, God's food. So we don't have to eat. He feeds us. After eating, we all will sit down. He'll start a topic. And he will start talking about something. And we all must pass our opinion. You cannot quote anybody. You cannot agree or disagree. You cannot just follow. You have to have an opinion. And I can tell him, I think you were wrong, Appa. And he will say, I'll think about it. Then he will say, no, I think I was right. So I thought there was a brilliant way of parenting. He held my individuality. But your question, the fear of messing up must always be there. We can wrongly parent something. Parenting to me is what, it's like nurturing. Can we make mistake? Of course. The fear of survival, if you parent your child only to perform, the child will only be a performer, will not learn how to be happy. So we are bound to make mistakes. But I think to be a parent, you only qualify to be a parent if you can wake up and say, I think I messed up. I hope you forgive me. So don't worry about messing up. Like, will I mess my child up? That's part of living. Sometimes that mess is beautiful. The mess is beautiful. You know why? That's evolution. Evolution is we make mistakes. I think parenting is something else must be more important than one's ego. That's what parenting is, I think. But I think the fear is unnecessary.
What about the constant worry?
Constant worry means?
So I read somewhere that they said that the last sleep you will really truly have is a sleep the night before your child is born.
Your child is?
Born.
But true. True.
After that, you will never really sleep.
Ever.
Again.
Even now, as whatever I am, if your sister call or you call, from far I ask, okay? She has to tell me, okay, I'm okay. Which means I'm constantly worried. I just want to know, okay? Okay.
But how do you manage that? Is there a trust?
Why do you want to manage that? What is wrong worrying? I tell you, if I have nothing to worry about, I will feel sad. You know how beautiful that is? That you're okay? You're good? My God, I get to be that person. You see, you are asking the question as though we must live worry-free, nothing. You are dead. If you wear a watch or a ring, that you are not worried if it's stolen or broken, you are not wearing anything valuable. If it's valuable, it comes with worry. And with all its complexity, you are so right. Whoever said that is perfect. The last good sleep you have is before your child is born, and ask your mother. Until you were born, I was sleeping with my wife. From that day, it's your mother that I'm sleeping with. And you know what? That's how it's supposed to be. And I think maybe what I have to offer a little bit, embrace it, love it. I hate it too. You guys get COVID, I am here worried like hell. I don't want to worry. But I also see the beauty of that worry,
And I guess you also have to put some trust that you've set the child up enough. That, like, of course you're going to be worried, but that whatever it may be, they'll be okay.
Well, you find God, I suppose. You find prayer, you find every... And I love it, You see, people are wanting a life where there is no complexity, They want everything to be idealistic. I can survive the mess. I remember when your brother, stillbirth, at birth he died. I was suicidal for a couple of days. And that tells me, I don't think I've ever been that bad. it tells, I don't think I was even suicidal for death of him. I think I was suicidal what your mother had to go through. I think I cried for his death 10 months later. I was watching this movie called She's Having a Baby. I remember 10 months later, I burst out crying. Until then, I didn't cry. I was worried about your mother. And I had to go bury him myself. I know when I tell it, it sounds like a drama, I bow, It makes me human. I like it. Not that I want that to happen, but I'm like, it's okay. Now, when I see somebody else who lose a child or something, I can stand with them with absolute compassion and empathy and understanding. I'm saying, I know what is parenthood? Embrace the mess. Love it. Enjoy it. I was telling this somebody, I hope I don't jinx it, touch wood. I said, I'm privileged that my children didn't give me trouble at all. You guys didn't do what I did as a kid.
That you know of.
Okay, that's good. As long as I don't know, right, Anba? As long as I don't know, it's okay. I said they're good kids. They didn't give me hell or nightmare. I don't think I'm the guy to talk about parenting. I've been lucky. You know what I mean? But this much I will say. I don't want to play authority. I put my hand together to every mother, every father, every would-be mother, every would-be father, and I'm saying, I wish you well. I don't know what this child... I got friends who are born with special children, with some... And I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea, man. But you know what it is? Embrace it. Be gutsy about it. Don't you dare.
And it's kind of like amazing to watch how like people can like rise to that occasion. Like, do you remember Mitchell who had leukemia?
Do
you remember how his parents kind of became so strong? He's fine.
Okay.
They became so strong.
Yeah, I saw it. I bear witness.
Even his brother donated the bone marrow. Like, they came together for that.
No, I grew up like Zarina, right?
Yeah, Sharina.
And the dance school and all the parents that were there, we will show up, your mother will show up. Come on. The visit to Paris was nice, but hanging out in the dance place, watching the kids perform was the highest. I don't want to romanticize it, but I don't want to take the romance out of it. I'm saying, go for it. Don't you dare hesitate. You are in it. Go. I know the fear is there, but I tell you, one thing is unfair in parenting. Every parent, every child needs a mother and father, needs two grandfathers, two grandmothers. It needs cousins, nephews. It needs a lot of people. Leaving it just to the mother and father is a crime. It's a crime. You need a community to raise a child. It is a crime, What is happening now, it's a crime. Because what the parent can give is one thing, what the grandparents can offer is another thing. But we live in a way now, grandparents are visiting. That is not my culture.
They say it takes a village.
Takes a village. Takes everybody.
I can see that one of my friends, her sister had a baby and they all live in the house together. The mother, the grandmother, the grandfather, all the sisters, everybody. And that baby is so loved and he's happy.
That's it. Because if the mother has a child, it takes a month to recover, and they are young. They are making other babies. So it needs everybody to help.
Where do you think people can draw the line, right? There's overprotective and then there's allowing your child to be too free. How do you figure that line?
A child is not free. That's why it's a child. A child has to earn its freedom. So the right parenting is to teach them well. One day you can give the car key and say, okay, freedom doesn't mean before the child learns how to drive, you give the key. So a child is not free. A child is an apprentice to be an adult so it can live its freedom. I think nowadays what they do, these parents who don't want to be responsible, take the pseudo-psychology and they shove it to the child. I'm giving the child freedom. No, you're abandoning the child. So there's this all kinds of pseudo-psychology. People are trying to compensate for their nonsense. No, no, no. A child is not free. That's why it's a child. A child needs guidance. It needs discipline. It needs a home. It needs to be cared for. It needs to be loved. Everything it needs. It needs somebody that it can admire, emulate. Nowadays, the modern day, and they're doing pseudo thing. I once was somewhere and they were doing a kind of alternative birth, and I'm looking at them and I'm going, "Are you kidding me? Take it to the hospital. What are you doing?" But they're saying, "Oh, I don't want to traumatize this person." I hope so. lah. I'm an old-fashioned parent. I'll take every precaution. The safety is the most important thing. I think nowadays people are inventive. You know what I mean? Inventive. They are giving excuses for themselves not waking up to be there. If you have a child, you sit with the child and do the homework. If you're with the child, you take the child swimming. You sit there and swim with the child. If you're there, you are there. Soccer mom, soccer dad. Go there. The other day I was here. The mother was bringing the boy for golf, His name is Kim. I call him Kim Jong-un. I was making fun of him. Cute boy. So the mother was, I can see the mother. Then I start betting with the boy. I start hitting with my pitching wedge, and he had to hit with his driver, If he can outdrive me, I say I give him $10. So I put the $10 there. Come on, we bet. Play. At the end, he shot more than 100. He took the $10. He was the happiest boy. I was looking at the mother winking and say, "We have parents, we know. I'm just playing a role. Thank you for allowing me to play a role for the fella to be a champ someday." I don't have an answer, and I'm nervous about talking about this subject.
I think there's a lot of judgment within this subject. An endless amount of judgment, actually. I was sitting with my friend the other day. She's expecting her first child. And this one guy, unsolicited, gave his very strong opinion of how she's a bad mother if she doesn't breastfeed. She's like, what if it just doesn't happen? So people they are so judgmental about this.
No, those are people without experience. They are violent. So I say people make things up. Be quiet. Be quiet. You don't know what the mother is going through. You don't know. There is this depression after pregnancy. There is so much. I've seen your mother one day. I came home, middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where I traveled. I'm walking in. She's sleeping, sitting down, and you are breastfeeding. I wish I had a camera to take that picture. That's the sight of a mother. Everybody else, please shut up. You don't know what it takes to do that. She's breastfeeding and she's sleeping. There's two of you at the time. And I'm looking at it and I'm going like, wow. So everybody stand down. Don't judge. You don't know what it takes to be a parent, Sometimes people say, "Oh, this woman is good. This woman is." Nobody can judge.
Do you think if you put your whole heart into it, there's any way you can still get it wrong? Like in a grander sense. Of course, in
Maybe
moments.
That's when it goes wrong. You put too much into it. You put the right amount. Remember, a child is a borrowed commodity. That is, you are given a certain amount of time to train the child to be free. You know what I mean? Even though I don't think I will ever not be a parent, but it's a limited time. Nowadays, everybody who brings a child, I said, spend time. If not, very soon they grow up and they're in LA or they're in London. And I said, it's a very short-term privilege. Enjoy it. And hopefully, if you do a good job, they survive their freedom. And nobody has a judge, Sometimes I've seen people judge here. It happens, not here, but it's happened. Like somebody abandoned the child, put it in a doorstep.
It happens a lot in Malaysia.
I'm telling you, don't judge. You don't know what the mother is going through. You don't know what happened. I'm telling you, just pick the child, raise the child. You have no right. I might judge a father, but I'll never judge a mother. I'm a man, I'll judge another man. Like, get to work, man, go make money. I think be kind. It's very difficult. It's incredibly difficult. That's why I said, if you have a support system, mother, father, uncle, brother, cousin, sister, there's a chance. Alone, oh my God. Come on. How many places you have seen a man carrying a child and begging for food? You always see the woman carrying the child begging for food, begging for money. Do you see somebody carrying a child? "Oh, please, give me some money." It's always the mother. And I'm telling you, in parenting, mother holds a grand position. Don't judge. You can lie. They are abusive. They are wrong. That's within reason. But
Do you?
I don't know whether it's a curse or a blessing. I think it's a bit of both. Sorry.
I was gonna say, do you think the child will teach you
Yeah.
how to love them, how to be a parent to them?
If you want to be a parent, listen to the child. Don't expect the child to listen to you. You listen, because each child is different. Each child is unique. I think the child is born to teach these people how to be parents. And first, they have to learn to be a parent. Not that you know how to be a parent. I don't know whether the parent gives something to the child or the child gives something to the parent. Every child is a gift. Every child is a gift. I can only tell. You must tell your part. I will tell you what I got. I told what I received. Was it a struggle? Of course. But what else you think I'll be doing? What else you think I'll be doing? What am I going to do? Go to Tahiti and go to Paris and get drunk? Nah, I do this. But I think I need to communicate myself in this. I'm looking, I'm learning, I'm paying attention. I'm surrounded by parents. A lot of my students are married with children. They come, I'm looking at them, and I'm telling you, it's a journey. And I think I love it. But it's not for all. It's not for all.
And that's okay.
Perfectly fine. But don't miss out playing a role in a child's life. That's why when I built this orphanage, I have a lot of people who don't have children too. I said, go, play a role. You don't have to adopt. Why would you miss out that care? Why would you not wake that up in you? Not everybody should have a child, but everybody should play a role in a child. And I think it is, you are poor. That care, that worry you don't have, you are poor.
Sometimes it's nice to be the auntie.
I think sometimes that's the best part, to be an auntie. Best part. Like you build orphanages, you go see all those kids. You are privileged. You get to meet them. You get to play a role.
That's the
People
best
only
part.
see what they give, they miss what they receive. It's like middle of the night when you're a kid, so I'll come and I'll wake you up. I say, I love you. You all in your sleep. You'll say, I love you, Appa. And I used to look at them, Anba, they're con artists, Anba. I love you, Appa. I'm like, okay. I think you are blessed if you have a chance to be a parent. But first find out, do you have that blessing? If not, don't do it. If not, don't do it. It takes everything you got and a little bit more. Because I think once you're a parent and you give up you, and many don't survive that. That's when they fail to be a parent. They have something that is more important than them, and not everyone survive it. And if a child has a parent who cannot make them more than them, the child suffers. The child must know that they are number one, that my parents will do anything for me. If the child doesn't have it, the child's development gets hindered, That's it. What is parenting? The child must know it's number one. Not number two, not part-time, not an accessory, not a completion of a picture frame, not to live out a dream. It's number one. It is number one. There's no two ways around it. Without that, I don't think the child will grow. Many places I watch, and the children are just accessories, They're just a show and tell. It's just they're using the child to live out an idea. That is wrong.
I guess don't go into it blindly.
Yeah. Or if you go into it blindly, open your eyes afterward, please. Just wake up, see, do what has to be done. But it's not for everybody. This is when I'll say this. Might be wrong a little bit, but this is when you leave it to faith. If you're supposed to have children, you will. Whether you like it or not, it will come to pass. If you're not supposed to have children, you're not going to have children. It's not going to happen. I'm rooting for you all to have children because I want grandkids. So I'm prejudiced, Anba, isn't it? Huh? We want one little brat running around and torturing me. But no, I want to finish by saying this. I have nothing much to say about this. I don't want to be an author. I've just said some opinion. You've asked a question. But I put my hand together and I bow to every parent. I bow to the mystery of being a parent. And I would forever learn. It's both a pain and a glory and an agony and all of it. It is the reality of human being when there's something more important than you. And I think it is something one must be quiet about. Okay? Is that good?
Thank you.
You're welcome.